Good morning, good evening, and to some of you, good afternoon. It is currently 6:41 a.m. Pacific time, and Hotfix 45 has just begun. Changes. Fix an issue where players cannot loot after defeating the Ghost King. Fix an issue where the High Roller Warlord's rewards were not appropriate. We have some balance changes. Warlock's Dark Reflection attribute bonus ratio changed from 100 to 50%, and Warlock's Blow of Corruption attribute bonus ratio changed from 100 to 50%. So Warlocks just took another nerf, and honestly, it's probably okay. The bonus attribute ratio scaling for other magical based skills, such as Smite, are set to 50%. So bringing that number back in line just kind of makes sense. They also went ahead and changed the damage from explosive bottles. The damage has changed from 3 to 1 and no longer scales. So I guess explosive bottles are like really useless now. I don't know. The area accessible by double jumping in the ice caverns has been limited. I play a lot of goblin caves, and I will tell you that the few times that I have played ice caverns, there are some mega rat spots, and it drove me crazy. High Roller name tag appears again. So if you didn't know, in HR teams only, the name tags were removed just as an experiment, and that lasted a week. Now it's gone. And yeah, two big ones here. Map rotation is back for all party types. This is absolutely massive. A lot of people really enjoyed map rotation. Personally, I hated it. I didn't enjoy the constant switching, but they do give us a few more comments down below, and we'll go over that stuff. But they have a adjustment this time around to hopefully please both parties. And then the second thing is that the mind wipe no longer has a time limit. So if you didn't get the correct perks or skills when you were multi-classing your character, you can now just instantly go ahead and wipe, re-roll, and just continuously do that. I assume still for a gold price. So that's the only concern here. But yeah, let's get a little bit into the dev comments. I'm not going to read everything word for word, but I'll just kind of go over what was said. So here in the first part, they address why they decided to go with this style of multi-classing system and how much of a grind length it was. And basically they said that they were quite happy with the grinding that was imposed on players through leaderboards and quest systems, and they wanted to try to keep that nature within the game and continue to give us things to continuously grind and play the game for, so that the game doesn't basically become like nonsensical, mindless PvPing. And that's basically all that covers. Here they talk about the things that they learned in this, and although there's a couple different points, the main things were that they learned that there was a ton of unintended interactions between cross-class skills and perks, and that's absolutely true. And the other thing that they go on to talk about is that they understand now that because multi-classing tends to lock players into a singular type of playstyle, as we can see every single person would multi-class into fighter to get sprint because it was the best movement stim ability. So if you weren't getting sprint, you were nerfing yourself, right? Or if you didn't have access to ranged weapons, you needed to get weapon master, so you could start using crossbows, bows, or windlasses. So they learned that if they're going to create this limited type of playstyle, they need to make it so that there's not too much RNG involved in obtaining those skills and perks. Next, they say what they will do, and this is actually massive. They go on to say right here, we plan on removing multi-classing. And for 1 week, they're going to allow us to play with limited restrictions to the multiclassing. So this time next week, multiclassing will be gone and we will be returning back to normal Dark and Darker class-based gaming. And for the last bit, they talk a little bit about the map selection. They did mention something kind of interesting. They said that they have a system that they're currently working on, and that's about all they said about that. There is a system that they're working on that should give us a happy medium of being able to select what map you want to play on, as well as getting into matches quickly with other players in your lobbies. Because as we know right now, with the current population in Dark and Darker, one of the big concerns is that with a split queue, the matches themselves will just be underpopulated. So they mentioned that, and they even went on to say that's why they implemented rat style mechanics or rat play, such as the no noise when you crouch walk, which got changed to no noise when you slow walk. So yeah, I wonder if that also means that those mechanics are not being removed. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the shift walking, the complete stealth walking. I just don't think it's a good mechanic, but that's just me. To ease issues of non-agency, we will implement map rotations with an extremely short rotation timer to make it easier to wait out a map that you dislike. They don't say exactly how fast rotation timers are, but I'm starting to think maybe like 10 minutes, a 10-minute timer, maybe even a 5-minute timer. So, yeah, I don't know, something like that. We'll see what exactly happens with that, but not bad. Overall, it does seem that Iron Mace has kind of finished up some of this testing, and hopefully we're going to see some more refinement to map rotations here shortly, as they talked about. And yeah, that's pretty much all that covers it for this one. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see you in the next one.